So in my head, I was like, okay, I'm gonna accept Christ in front of everybody right now. Then I'm gonna go home and snort drugs until I don't wanna do them anymore. And that was my way of thinking. So I received Christ at the church. I went home, neglected my daughter and put her in front of the TV. I remember I grabbed a $100 bill. I always used a $100 bill for some reason, pride or something. I chopped up my crystal meth, got it all smooth and powdery, and I snorted a big old line. And I held the bill and I looked up and I said, Jesus, if you're real like that pastor said, then you gotta take these drugs from me. Come into my life, come into my heart. And I just got quiet. I said, search me right now, search my heart. And I stayed silent. And I said, you know I wanna quit. You know I wanna be a good dad for this kid. She lost her mother to drugs, and she's gonna lose me if I don't quit. Amen. There's a high when you go on stage and you see all these people like just loving your music and loving you and stuff, and there's these girls and all these people going worshiping me. When you see all those people just going nuts for you, it's like, you know, it puffs you up inside. You're like, you know, I'm important. That's where drugs can creep in, and, you know, cocaine or whatever, methamphetamines crept in, and it all came from after drinking for me and my friends. And it seems like fun in the beginning. It's a lie because it turns around on you. It starts to wear on your personality, starts to wear on your relationships, and everything is affected by it negatively. Everything. There was a few times where life seemed good. My daughter, Janaea, she came into the world, and I was like, it was just such a euphoric feeling. I thought my life could just feel like that forever, you know? It was like it was spiritual, just, I didn't know what was happening. I just felt so much love just fill my emotions. And I thought I was gonna be happy, but I just couldn't stay sober. I didn't know how. I hit rock bottom. I had swore that I would never do methamphetamines again because I saw what it did to my child's mother. It just took her feelings away and made her leave her kid. I just wanted her dead. I wanted to kill her. I thought she was a scum of the earth. And you know, how could she do drugs like that and let the drugs win her like that? So I never was gonna do meth again. I ended up with a everyday crippling addiction to methamphetamine, and everything that I said about my ex-wife came true for me. I sunk to the lowest gutter I could ever think of. I would spend time with my kid, and I would still be on it because I needed it to function. I'd get up in the morning, have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and snort meth, and then take her to school or whatever. It was just, I was a junkie. I started losing my mind. This guy would show up at my house with like a gun and stuff. And then I ran out in Europe, had my drug dealer just crazy send me drugs through the mail. I'd be tweaked out in my hotel room watching this package come from the US. It's just nuts. My life just was like spinning out of control. Janaea had come out on one of the tours in the US. I just remember her skipping around the house. She's singing one of our Korn songs called Adidas. All day I dream about sex. And I'm like going, what am I doing? I'm a junkie. My daughter's singing All Day I Dream About Sex. And I'm gonna die. Father? My real estate broker, Eric, he said, Brian, I don't mean to be weird with you, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but I felt the scripture like jump out at me. I've never done this before, you know, so I don't really know how to do this, but I felt like this would mean something to you. It's Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. I remember all tweaked out. I looked up in the dictionary, weary. I looked up burdened, and I pulled the scripture apart and I was like, oh, I'm weary and burdened and I need rest for my soul. And I didn't know if it was real, but they invited me to church a couple weeks later, and I received Christ at the church. I went home, neglected my daughter, got it all smooth and powdery. Jesus, you got to take these drugs from me. Search me right now. Search my heart. Father, I felt so much fatherly love from heaven, and it was like, I don't condemn you. I love you. I love you. It was just love, and instantly that love from God came into me. It was so powerful that the next day I threw away all my drugs, and I quit corn. I was like, I'm quitting corn and I'm gonna raise my kid, because my kid, like, I got the love from God coming to me, and then it came out of me to my kid. It changed me. My heart was changed like that, and I was like, Janaea, Daddy's gonna be home with you all the time. I'm quitting my career. And her face lit up, and she's like, for me? She felt so special, and God used her to save me, to save her life later on. My dream came true way more than I dreamt about. I made more money. I played bigger shows. Houses, cars. I tried drugs, I tried sex, I tried everything to try to get pleasure out of this life. And I thought that I could fulfill my life with all this stuff by having my dream come true, and it came true, but it didn't fulfill it. When Christ came in, that feeling, he gives you the gift of understanding life, which is everything was created for Christ and by him. And we're created to be with him. And it's the most incredible feeling, because you're where you belong. And contentment is given to you in life, because you don't have to look anywhere else. And you're exactly where you need to be. And the question about life is answered. I'm Brian Head Welch, and I am second.
Hi manne, nou net die testimony gekyk van Brian Welch as inleiding tot ons teaching vanaand, wat gaan oor I am second. I am second gaan spesifiek daaroor dat ons as mans geneigdheid het om alles te probeer doen en alles self te probeer doen, en nie op enigiemand anders te probeer staat te maak om ons te help, en het kom uit die plek van trotsheid. Jy weet, as ou gaan luister na Brian Welch, die ons wat nou nie regtig ken nie. Hy's 'n gitarist uit die band Korn uit. En doen jouself 'n guns, kyk maar na van hulle musiekvideo's. Is bietjie weird, bietjie out there, nie noodwendig my cup of tea nie. Maar ja, die ouens is bietjie weird. En hy kan verstaan hoekom sy lewe ingespiral het soos wat het gedoen het. En wat great is, hy het op 'n punt gekom waar hy besef het dat wat hy doen is nie reg nie. En nie net dit nie, is hy kan nie alleen aangaan en sy lewe verander nie, en hy het uitgeroep na God toe om hom toe kom help. En dit is presies waaroor vandag se les gaan, is maak saak wat die omstandighede nie waar ons onsself bevind nie. Ons as mans kan nie die journey vorentoe alleen aanvat nie. Ons gaan fail as ons nie uitroep en onsself tweede plaas en na die Here luister nie. En twee skrifverse wat dit lekker aanhaal, is Spreuke 3 vers 6, wat sê, trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for God's voice in everything you do and everywhere you go. He's the one who will keep you on track. Don't assume that you know it all. En dit pas so mooi aan dat ons as mans so geneig om alles self te probeer doen, en nie regtig na raad te luister of nie regtig na ander te luister nie. Ons partykeer die hardkoppigheid wat my inkom, en dan net sê, ek weet beter, ek weet wat ek doen, los my uit. If I fail, I will fail alone. If I succeed, I will succeed alone. En dit gaan my 'n beter mens maak. En dit is nie glad nie waar nie. Maar ek dink die tweede ene is is Filippense 4 vers 6 tot 7 wat sê, don't fret or worry. Instead of worrying, pray. Let petitions and praises shape your worries into prayers, letting God know your concerns. Before you know it, a sense of God's wholeness and everything coming together for good will come and settle you down. It's wonderful what happens when Christ displaces worry at the center of your life. Jy weet, en ek dink dit is pas ook so mooi aan, jy weet, ons struggle alleen voort. Ons is te trots om ons struggles te erken en vir hulp te vra, en hierdie skrif kom net so mooi in en sê, weet jy, Here, ek kan nie meer nie, kom help my, en net in daai oomblik, die ouens wat nou deur dit is, en ek is self deur die egskeiding, en net daai hele weight of the world on your shoulders gevoel wat net weggevat word, is 'n absolute awesome gevoel, en nie regtig iets wat in woorde kan gesit word nie, maar definitief die moeite werd om net jou burdens vir die Here te gee, en jy meen dat alles is net so veel makliker going forward. En ek het ook nou weer gekyk na Brian Welch se storie weer, en hy sê in sy testimony, hy het kon gelos en alles, en ek reeds lees te later raak, jy weet, hy is weer terug kon toe. En die eerste vraag is, wat by my opgekom het is, jy weet, hierdie ou sê nou, hy is nou klaar met alles wat aangaan het by kon en nou gaan hy weer terug, is hy weer terug op die pad, wat hy was voordat hy nou sy hart vir die Here gegee het, en what went wrong. En ek dink die stuk wat ons nou gaan kyk, brei 'n bietjie uit oor wat gebeur het nadat hy teruggegaan het kon toe, en net hoe sy mind nou anders te werk as voor die tyd. So ja, kom kyk gou saam met my daarna.
Good? Yeah. AB Mark?
I started to become a little abnormal, probably when I was in my early teens. I developed an ear early on and met the guys who would later become my bandmates in Korn. And, you know, we recorded a record, hit the road, and we started gaining fans like right away. It was nuts. And around 1998, me and my wife had gotten pregnant. I thought everything was going to be good after she was born, you know. I was doing okay for a few years, and then next thing you know, I had a 2-year meth binge. The only thing that made sense in my life was love for my daughter. I ended up going to church with these guys, and I remember I received Christ in my heart that day, and so that's when I filmed my I Am Second, that first film of the I Am Second movie. The crazy thing is, when I shot the I Am Second movie, my life was really complicated. In 2009, I lost my house, and so tow trucks came and picked the cars up from the front of my house. Everything I tried to do was failing, and career-wise, music-wise. That went on for a few years, and I had these glimpses of like, don't worry, you're getting crushed for a reason. You know, I was playing in solo career, I was doing solo music and everything, and I ended up at this Carolina Rebellion Festival, and I hadn't seen a lot of the Korn guys in a long time. I was also with the band, on tour with the band Red, and I jammed a song with them earlier in the day, and a lot of the Korn fans saw it, and so word started going around, is he gonna play with Korn? So I ended up, they invited me to play with them, and I played one song called Blind, and the crowd went nuts. Singer breaks down in tears. You know, I wondered what it all meant because it was so powerful. My dad was in tears the next day. I had fans that were there were in tears, fans online, they cried when they saw it. It was very special, but I didn't know what it meant. And I started getting a tug in my heart after reconnecting with those guys just as friends, that after a few meetings with them, my heart started to be informed and with understanding about what my future is going to be. And in 2012, I rejoined Korn, which was a surprise to many, including myself. So all that crowd, all those fans and the band members and all those other bands, like when I went back, it was like, hey brother, that's my family, you know? And I know the music's crazy, but Mainly the lyrics are about pain, you know, and they come from a real and raw place. People need hope. There's addictions like crazy in that world. There's depression. There's been a lot of suicide stories happening. What better place to be having the meaning of life that I carry? You know, I know the answer for the meaning of life, so. It's not the most popular thing to do at a rock concert is talk about Christ. Now, I'm doing it because it's the most realist thing that's ever happened to me in my life. There's always a separation that Christians try to do. It's like when a baby's born, it needs to be in a sterile environment where everything's pure around the baby, right? For a period of time until it can go start touching things. And so it's kind of the same thing spiritually, where you got to go away in a pure environment and get to know, you know, this new life and get strengthened and prepared, and that's what happened. And so we need to figure out what's right for our lives for this time, you know. I did that. I followed God right back in the corn, and he's there, and I'm not separated from them or the fans any longer. He says in the Bible, he's going to restore all things. God is so good that he's restored me in that way. It's just everything, restoration. He gives you glimpses of that by restoring your life. He restored me in a way that's unique to me. Hey, you guys, if you watched my film and it spoke to you in some way and you want to learn how you can live second, go to iamsecond.com/livingsecond.
Jy weet wat vir my so insiggewend was van hierdie testimonie wat ons nou gekyk het van Brian, is hy kom uit 'n lewe uit waar dinge waar hy heeltemal van die paadjie af is, uit sy hart vir die Here gegee, die Here het hom kom help en uit daai situasie uitgekry en hy gaan hy weer terugkom na die tyd. En soos ek nou net gesê, die eerste ding wat ek gedink het is, hierdie ou is terug by kon, hy het weer verval in sy vorige lewe. Hier is hierdie massive testimony en nou, heel skielik is hy weer terug. Maar deur hierdie testimony kom hy en hy sê wel, hy het teruggegaan om die pad te wys vir ander mense wat hierdie selfde tipe ding gaan as hy, en hy gebruik die stage as sy platform om dit te doen. Nie vir persoonlike erkenning nie, maar om definitief die Here se koninkryk uit te bou. En ek dink dit is baie keer vir ons as 'n massive challenge, is om iets te doen met die idee dat dit nie oor my gaan nie. Jy weet, ons is baie geneig om met 'n attitude te kom van ek sal dit doen, maar wat kry ek uit die deel uit? Jy weet, dis hierdie hele temperament van what's in it for me. En die Bybel waarsku ons daarteen. Jy weet, so ons moet, en ek gaan nou deur 'n paar skrifgedeeltes lees, maar jy weet, dit kom uit die heeltemal ander hoek uit van, jy weet, ek moet myself tweede sit in hierdie situasie en God eerste sit in hierdie situasie en dan van daar uit lewe. Jy weet, en dit sluit so mooi aan by die 3 liggaam, siel en gees wat Jannie ook verlede week oor gechat het van, jy weet, laat die gees lei, nie dat die siel of die liggaam lei nie, maar laat die gees lei, en as ons heeltyd daaruit gaan lewe, gaan hierdie makliker raak. Nee, ek dink nie dat dit ooit maklik is nie, maar definitief makliker raak. Jy weet, in die Bybel waarsku ons, as ons kyk na Matteus 6 vers 2, wanneer jy iemand in nood help, moet nie 'n groot okasie daarvan maak nie. Dis wat die skynheiliges en die sinagoges en op die strate doen, om deur die mense opgehemel te word. Ek verseker julle, dis al beloning wat hulle ooit sal kry. Jy weet, en as ou dan net die volgende vers lees, vers 3. Maar as jy mense in nood help, doen dit sonder groot vertoon. So sal jou hulp betoon geheim bly, en jou Vader wat alle geheime ken, sal jou beloon. Jy weet, Matteus 6 vers 5. Moenie soos die skynheiliges wees wat daarvan hou om in die sinagoges en op die straathoeke te bid sodat mense hulle kan sien nie. Ek verseker julle, dit is al beloning wat hulle ooit sal kry. En as ons vers 6 lees, wanneer jy bid, gaan na die stilste vertrek in die huis en maak die deur agter jou toe sodat jy daar in jou alleenheid tot jou Vader kan bid. En jou Vader wat alles weet, sal jou beloon. Matteus 6 vers 16. Wanneer jy vas, moenie soos die skynheiliges 'n martelaarshouding aanneem nie. Hulle loop met lang gesigte rond sodat mense duidelik kan sien dat hulle vas. Ek verseker julle, dit is al beloning wat hulle ooit sal kry. En as ons dan lees vers 17, maar wanneer jy vas, versorg jou hare en was jou gesig. Dan sal niemand agterkom dat jy vasloop, behalwe jou Vader wat alle geheime ken. En jou Vader wat alle geheime ken, sal jou beloon. Jy weet, in die een groot tema wat vir my hier uitkom is, jy weet, sodra dit oor jouself gaan, die erkenning en die beloning wat jy dan kry, is vir dan. Daar is geen ewigheidswaarde in die beloning wat jy kry nie, en daar is geen koninkryk uitbreiding nie. En dit is tog een van ons doel as mans, is om die koninkryk van die Here uit te bou. En dit is vir my so great van, as jy jouself tweede sit, en God eerste plaas, en sodra dit nie meer oor my gaan nie, jy weet, begin hierdie goeders in plek val, en soos ek nou gesê, raak het makliker. Ek wil ook net gou 2 stories met julle share, met staf wat met my gebeur het op 4M, maar ek dink is maar experiences waar dit gegaan het, wat soveel eye-opening is, en wat ek dink nogal redelijk definitief vir my relate na hierdie onderwerp toe. Jy weet, en die eerste ene is die eerste XCC wat ek gedoen het saam met 4M, glad nie voorbereid gewees nie, maar ja, dit is mos maar altyd makliker as wat ou dink. En jy weet, ons kom op 'n punt waar hulle vir ons sê, okay, jy moet nou hierdie bult uitklim. Jy weet nie, jy kyk om sê, dit lyk nie te tough nie, maar jy weet, jy is nou nog, so dit gaan 'n effort vat, maar jy kan het doen. Jy weet, en die persoon wat ek is, ek sê nou, okay, daar is 'n lekker ou wat lyk vir stadig loop, so ek moet net voor hom bo is, en dan sal ek happy wees. En jy loop so, en dan besef jy, okay, daai ou wat ek nou gekies het, is verby, ek moet net voor daai ou wees. Jy weet, en jy loop, en jy besef, en ek besef later, jy weet, ek is heel agter, en daar is niemand meer vir wie ek kan wees nie. En ek kom tot die besef, tot op daai stadium, jy weet, dit het net oor ek gegaan. Jy weet, en ek is seker so 70% van die bult op, en ek besef, ek kan nie meer nie. As ek op my eie staat maak, gaan ek beslis nie tot bo kom nie. En is net daar waar ek vir die Here sê, oor die Here, ek kan nie meer nie, maar ek weet met u hulp en met u krag wat u vir my sal gee, sal ons daarbo kom. En is net so in 'n split second verander my woordkeuse van ek na ons of na u toe, want het gaan nie meer oor my nie. En snaaks genoeg, wel, seker nie snaaks genoeg nie, maar ons kom toe nou daarbo uit, en hierdie ervaring wat ou deurgaan om te weet, jy weet, in spite van my tekortkominge, as ek dit so kan stel, jy weet, is die Here by my, en hy sal my krag gee om my challenges te oorwin. Jy weet, en die ander storie waarna ek gedink het was, my ander XCC op 4M is waar ons in 'n poel water moet spring. Jy weet, en ek kyk die ding so, en is so, ek dink so 2 of 3 meter wat ons van 'n klif moet afspring in 'n poel in. So dit lyk nie baie moeilik nie. Maar ou kom tot daar, en jy kyk so af, en jy besef, hier is nie net van die kant of die rand van die swembad af inspring nie, hier is nog 'n entjie af. En jy is totally gripped with fear, en jy weet nie wat se kant toe nie. Jy wil nie vorentoe gaan nie, want jy is te bang om te spring, en jy wil nie agtertoe gaan nie, want daar is ouens agter jou, wat ook al inspring. en daai hele thought process was, wat jy so gegrip met fear, maar al wat jy kan doen is jy meer vir die Here gee, and then you just take a plunge, and you let go and let God. En daar is so symbolies, so massive, van maak saak wat se probleme, omstandighede, op of af, of wat ook al die geval mag wees, nie maak nie saak wat heiliglik aangaan nie. As jy op die Here vertrou, and you take the plunge of faith, en hy sal voorsien in alles wat jy nodig het, nie nodig wat jy wil hê nie, maar definitief wat jy nodig het. En 'n ou moet nooit daaraan twyfel nie. So ek wil ook net gaan afsluit met 2 nog skrifverse wat vir my nogal uitgestaan het. Was hierdie is Matteus 6 vers 33, is nee, maak die koningsheerskappy van God en dit wat voor hom reg is, julle prioriteit. Dan sal God vir julle al hierdie ander dinge byvoeg. Jy weet, en dit gaan ook met die alignment met die gees. Jy weet dat as ons uit die gees uitlewe en ons self tweede sit en God in sy koninkryk eerste sit, dan sal alles wat ons nodig het tot ons beskikking wees en die Here sal altyd voorsien. En hier was my so great en toe ek het raak lees, toe voel het soos die Here met my praat oor hardkoppigheid spesifiek, want ons mans is ons maar hardkoppig en is baie keer al ons lees. En het kom uit die message uit, Isaiah 46 vers 12 en 13. Now listen to me, you're a hard-headed bunch and hard to help. I'm ready to help you right now. Deliverance is not a long-range plan. Salvation isn't on hold. Jy weet, al wat ons moet doen, is om te vra en te vertrou en onsself tweede te sit. Die Here sal die res vir ons kan doen. So dis dit van my kant af. Ek dink as julle regtig wil, daar is, ek gaan kyk na I Am Second se website, daar's hordes cool video's, daar was een van Alex Kendrick, wat ek nogal die ou wat Fireproof en Courageous en al hierdie flieks gemaak het, waar hy praat van waar hulle in 'n situasie was waar het so goed gegaan het, en hy het homself begin twyfel, want hy maak die movie van hoe dit lyk om 'n goddelike huwelik te hê, maar sy huwelik is besig met mekaar te val, en die challenges wat hy geface het om daardeur te gaan. Daar's ook Michael W. Smith wat ook deur massive challenges gegaan het in sy lewe. Jy weet, dit is, as jy kyk waar die ouens nou is en waar hulle was, dit is nogal inspiring, so ek wil graag aanmoedig, gaan kyk daarna as jy tyd het. Maar ja, daar's ook 3 vrae wat ons as klein groepe ook net wil 'n bietjie verder gaan delf, so ek sal dit nou vir julle sê. Okay.